Who would have thought something that has been with the series since the very beginning, like the beginning introduction of KATSURA, who would have thought such a gag that brings a lot of comedy and many have had laughs from would be so important and have so much meaning behind it for KATSURA? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it's stuff like that that makes me appreciate writers. It makes me appreciate how long they've been, working this up and building it up until they finally decide to dive into it. And I would like to believe that the writer, Gorilla-san, that made that gag, made it's not, Zura, it's KATSURA, and now in this episode, it's not KATSURA, it's Zura. I like to think that he had this planned out since the very beginning, because the way that was done and delivered in this, it just was so badass for the character of KATSURA. But on top of that, all of these certain scenes we see throughout the series where he's like, it's not Zura, it's KATSURA, how he always says that. There's been so many times it was meant to be a joke. But now when you go back to see those scenes, like let's say you go back maybe a couple years from now, or right now after this episode, and go back to rewatch Gintama, you will think about that now, and you will know the true meaning of that entire nickname of Zura. And you'd be like, oh my god, it's absolutely crazy. And the actual personality of KATSURA makes so much more sense now because of this episode. How he always ran away, how he was viewed upon as if he was a coward. He would run from fights, and then when things got to, be very grim, he would stand and fight, and he would cast aside KATSURA, and he would become Zura. That was some very good backstory for KATSURA, and I honestly didn't expect to get something like that, but to get that information in this episode, my respect for KATSURA's character has increased. I already loved KATSURA as a character. I love it when there's episodes focused around him. I've said it many times when I've done my previous Gintama episode reviews that I wish there was more KATSURA. There needs to be more episodes focused on KATSURA. And this episode was fucking beautiful for me, because just seeing this characterization for this character and the message behind his nickname honestly makes me just so happy. When I saw that scene, when we got the name, and you had to where this dude that he's fighting, this monkey, is straight up saying, like, oh, KATSURA and all that. He's actually calling, KATSURA by his name. You don't really think too much about it at the time, but he's actually calling KATSURA by his name. But then as soon as he actually says it, for the first time, or the very few times throughout the series of Gintama, a person actually calls KATSURA by his proper name. And as they do this, he's like, it is not KATSURA, it's Zura! And he just goes at this man, beating the shit out of him. Oh, yo, seeing KATSURA go in like that, and then say, it's Zura, and just start going beast mode, just slugging this man, just beating the fucking shit out of him, slicing at him, it was just epic. Oh my god. And don't even get me started on how great the animation and art looked in that scene. That was beautiful. Definitely beautiful art and animation for the return of Gintama, this season, this return. It sucks we're probably only gonna have, 12 episodes because it was announced, but, I mean, hey, it's still great to see such glorious, animation, art, and how Studio Sunrise is clearly putting a lot of work into the series. I mean, you can clearly see it even with this episode. I mean, they've always done that. Studio Sunrise has always shown that they really care about Gintama. They put that extra effort in. They go the extra mile by adding in these little scenes, even filler scenes that really fit with the atmosphere of Gintama. They've always gone that extra mile, and I really appreciate all this stuff they do for this series, and just seeing how they put so much work in this. You could just see the passion of this scene displayed in the anime. When you see KATSURA going up against this man, and they're just, beating the hell out of each other. You see the fighting, the way it's done, the effects to the backgrounds, just everything looked very good, and you could just see the effort that the production team really did for this episode. And I mean, if this is only going to be 12 episodes, I can understand. I mean, the level of quality in this already is just freaking awesome, and I'm glad to see the way this was done. So, the fight overall, The fight was intense. It was something that you don't normally see from KATSURA's character, especially going that far. It was like a Gintoki moment. That's exactly what it looked like. It looked exactly like if Gintoki casts aside everything and he gets full-on serious. That's exactly what it looked like. It was like KATSURA was channeling Gintoki. Like, this man was like, you know what? It's time I stand and fight and become Zura. And you just see this man going up against this man. Crazy stuff. Just absolute crazy. So, the reveal... 10 out of 10. Like I said, I'm just shocked right now that has been built up for so long. Like, just how much build up that name, that nickname has gotten. It has been said so many times, you would not think something like that would be that important to the character. And it's just those little details is what makes me really respect Gintama as a series, and also KATSURA, and just the writer, just because of how the writer is able to do things like this. Stuff that's normally used for comedy and just gags and stuff throughout the entirety of the series turned out to be something relatively important to the characters. So yeah, Gintama's episode. Best episode yet since its return. On top of that, the way the episode ended is pretty fucking hype too, because if we can see anything from this episode, we can at least say this. If KATSURA got this type of development and this characterization with this episode, I can already imagine that the next episode that's probably focusing around Sakamoto is going to be something that's going to be interesting as well, because you have to think about this. We don't know a lot about Sakamoto. I mean, we know stuff, but we don't know everything. There's gags about his character and all stuff like that, and I mean, if KATSURA is any indication, and previous characters before him are any indication, then Sakamoto is probably going to have some crazy development in next week's episode too, if Gorilla-san decides to, you know, completely go into it. So, we'll see where that goes. But, for now, though, this episode, hella fun to watch. I'm probably going to go rewatch it, because that scene was just so good. That was so good. That fucking music, when it's like, it is not KATSURA, it's Zura! Like, oh, that was so good! Okay, I'm done. I am done. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about that episode of Gintama this week? I love you all. You have a wonderful day or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.